Hello, Richo, Fourth Dimension, Lumberton, Splintered, Grim Humour, blah, blah, blah. If you're watching this, you'll know who I am anyway. Yeah, just here really essentially to plug the latest release on Fourth Dimension, which is the double CD compilation, an oblique reference to zeros. So a double CD, Fourth Dimension Records sampler or collection of artists that I've worked with over the years, and some others that I quite like as well. Quite as in the English sense, like really, you know. So yeah, so not quite as in maybe, but no, it's a good collection. It's a good collection of artists, and it's quite diverse. So as you can see, perhaps there are mostly exclusive tracks, not all of them, but mostly exclusive tracks by Richard Young's, Kleistwahr, Alternative TV, Schrottersberg, Marla Hayes, Hiroshima Bend, Mitsuru Tabata, White P, JFK, Helm, Philippe Petit, Hiroshima Bend, I think I said, Sudden Infant, Extended Network, and my own groups, the groups I'm involved with, Splintered and Theme, and many others as well. So it's a nice, diverse collection of music. It goes all over the place musically, which was the main intention anyway. So Sion Orgon is also on there as well, I should say, because he mastered the album, as indeed he masters everything that I release, or most things I should say. So yeah, Sion Orgon's on there as well. Yeah, and it's just a really nice looking digipack as well. 6 panels, some sleeve notes, nice image there. Again, once again designed by Puppy 38, who I always thoroughly recommend. There we are. Yeah, the fly. So yeah, and there's even a 4-page booklet inside as well. So I really went to town on this. Obviously, Puppy 38 went to town on the actual design, but I went to town on putting this together, and really, really happy with it. It's a budget priced collection, and it goes for £7 plus shipping, airmail shipping from Poland. It's about £11. I don't know what that is in dollars, US dollars or euro, but it's pretty good. And also both CDs have over an hour of music on each, so this really does go against my own sensibilities. I don't really like compilations generally, and I don't like CDs that go on for more than 40 to 45 minutes, 50 minutes maximum as a rule. But you know, it started out as an idea that grew, and there are some tracks on there, including the one by Splintered, that are pretty lengthy as well. So guilty as charged, you know. So but nonetheless, you know, it's a CD. You can stop it when you want and return to it when you want. So it really is value for money as well, and that's maybe the key point here. It really is good. I'm really, really pleased with it. The front cover is pretty prescient as well, as you can see, in light of recent events, and you know, some dancing girls with what looks like nuclear explosions in the background. So it reminds me very much of my label event in London in November 2019, when I I used an image of a plague doctor, a medieval plague doctor, on the posters and the flyers and whatever, and the Facebook page and so on and so forth, because I've always liked that image, the plague doctor, and um, before it was even popular with these um, steampunk types or whatever. I always like that image. I've used it in grim humour, I think, as well. But nonetheless, yeah, I use that on the poster, and sure enough, 3 months later, there's a pandemic. So obviously, this is pretty pertinent when it comes to Ukraine itself. But I think this commentary here is more actually relates to something I said on Facebook last week, whereby people generally argue on social media about all kinds of nonsensical issues. Well, maybe they're not always nonsensical, but sometimes comparatively trivial issues in light of what's happening, in Ukraine at the moment. And people remain oblivious to real problems, such as somebody like Putin sort of doing what he's now doing. It's an argument I've always stood by, and it's one reason why I've always personally tried my best not to embroil myself in discussions on social media about these kind of comparatively trivial issues. They invariably end up with people disagreeing, arguing, not really changing their opinions about anything. They always stay, in their chosen corner, the one they've long ago subscribed to, and I just see it all as all ultimately a waste of time. So, and even with that in mind, I again, I refrain from commenting on social media myself, anything related to politics or certain issues or whatever. Generally, these days, there are a couple of exceptions, perhaps in the last year regarding Brexit, perhaps, but that's because I'm personally affected by post and courier services. But that aside, I generally stay away from all of it. And I've got my own opinions about certain things, not always right either, but I've got my own opinions, and they're always open to being changed as well. I'm always open to being convinced otherwise regarding my own arguments on certain things. But nonetheless, I did feel compelled to write something about Ukraine and what's happening there. In the last week, I've done at least 2 updates on my Facebook page, simply because here I am living in Poland, where everything happening in Ukraine, which is a directly neighbouring country to Poland, everything that's happening there is really strongly felt here. Absolutely everybody is talking about what's happening, whether it's friends, my students in English lessons, family, and so on and so forth. It's very hard to remove yourself from any of this, even if you want. I'm not saying I want to, because I feel very feel very bad for these poor Ukrainians fleeing the country right now. And I've been into Krakow twice in the last week. My parents and my eldest son were here several days ago, and I met my parents in the centre of Krakow at the main station there on Friday, and there were just hordes of refugees, Ukrainian refugees there, women and children essentially, and it's tragic to see this. It's very distressing. So of course, not as distressing as anything they've been through, but it really just rammed in, exactly what's going on in the next door neighbouring country at the moment. So and again yesterday morning, running my eldest son to the airport, Krakow Airport, in the car. I was driving along, and there was just loads of Ukrainian traffic around. So small thing, small perhaps things like that, just are kind of in your face all the time here. And all of my lessons with adults here in Poland during the last week or so, or last 14 days, have been based around this subject. How could these conversations not be? So no matter how much we might try to deviate from this, it's very difficult to do so. So yeah, there we are. So yeah, to go back to this, very prescient image there, and it's a good analogy as well for something I feel strongly about, which is the way certain people seem oblivious to, I would say, far stronger matters going on internationally right now, and indeed over recent years as well. So the symbolism here, as represented by the dancing girls, is perfect. So they're completely oblivious to what's happening behind them, and that's how essentially I see social media as well. So when people are fighting over absolute nonsense, you can find people even arguing over and having serious arguments over stupid things like music and whatever. It's absolute garbage. That's why generally I try to keep Facebook and Twitter to promotional purposes for me these days. Now and again I'll write something else or post a music link on Facebook or whatever. But yeah, anyway, enough of that. In relation to the double CD, there's also this T-shirt, also featuring the front cover design and a list of all the all the artists that are on the CD. No other reference to the CD beyond that, just a list of artists, the front cover design, and of course a little little branding here, of course, but it's, I think, a nicely priced T-shirt as well. It's only £14 plus shipping. I've only got a few left in medium size at the moment. The first batch of these have all gone. But if you do want one of these, I'm working with a local printer. These are good quality shirts as well. I am working with a local printer, and the turnaround is a matter of days, really. So I think during next week sometime I'll be placing another order. If you're interested in one, just go to the shop, place your order. Be prepared to wait for a week or so for the order to be processed, and I'll then send it out. State what size you need. Can do small, medium, large, extra large, or, as one of my friends in the UK said recently, who shall remain nameless, but a very good friend of mine, do they do them in darts player size? Yes, they do. So there we are. I think they've even got children's size, but I can't imagine any child wanting to wear one of those. Personally, I don't like the idea of forcing children to wear things, T-shirts and things of your own music taste or whatever. Having said that, I've got a really nice T-shirt from Joke of Sudden Infant for our daughter, and it's a nice small T-shirt, and she has worn it, and it's really nice and much appreciated. But I see that was a gift, and but no, the idea of just forcing your children to like your own music and follow your own tastes and whatever, and therefore wear T-shirts or whatever, it's a bit naff to me. But anyway, again, separate issue or non-issue. So there we are. They're the latest things. The t-shirts I'll keep available for another couple of months maybe, and then I'll just remove it from the shop. So if you're interested, get in quick. The double CD, I had 2 more boxes of those arrive from the manufacturer yesterday. I'm still sending them out, still sending out the direct orders and the royalty copies for, to the artists. So I'm still very much in the throes of that, but they're going out. So bear with me as usual for a week or 2 to perhaps even get your order sent out. So please just bear with me. This is not all I do, you know, as I've indicated many times, and even earlier, I also teach English, and you know, I do proofreading, and I do lots of other jobs. So this is not my only thing. It's more or less a glorified hobby that you know. I don't live off this. It's not my livelihood. So I have to do it in the hours between, you know, the odd moments I get between real work, you know. So which is how it's always been really for me. Yeah, so they're the latest things. Getting quick. I think once Cargo have got their copies, Cargo, my distributor in England, have got their copies of the double CD. And once all the orders have gone out, and the few copies that I will be sending to mail orders around the world that I deal with, once they've all got their copies, I think I'll only have about 30 copies of the double CD left. So really getting quick. It's similar to the Kleistwahr in the Guts of a Year situation. God, I'm always disturbed by some email alert every time I do one of these. But it's similar to the in the Guts of a Year situation. I think I've got 2 copies left. It's gone. So something's definitely happening. Yeah, I always complain about my labels never doing well or whatever, and that's often the case. But something seems to be happening lately, where more orders are coming in. Maybe it's something to do with the deal I do as well, where you can get 7 CDs for a really low price as well. Lots of people have taken advantage of that. £30 for, what is it, 3 back catalogue CDs and 4 upcoming titles from the labels, not even just Fourth Dimension, but Lumberton and whatever. That's a really good deal, and many people have taken advantage of it. I think it's the way forward for me. I'll keep these kind of deals going, just simply because, as I've always said, I don't really have the space for one thing, and secondly, I just don't see the point in sitting on lots of unsold stock. I just don't see the point of it. I'm not trying to make rarities or anything like this, you know. I hate that kind of collector sensibility, but I like, as I've always said, I like quick turnaround. I like a release to come out and for it to go, and for me not to be sitting on a big mountain of boxes of unsold stock for months or years after. So the sooner everything goes, the better. So yeah, and it's a similar case with this double CD. I'm up to 18 minutes, almost 19 minutes. I'm rambling as usual. I thought this would only be 12 minutes. Maybe to round off, I should say there are plenty of releases happening, and the backlog of vinyl releases are that have been jammed for over a year now. I think finally going to move sometime over the next few weeks or month or so. So I'll do another update in relation to those and the other forthcoming releases by, excuse me, Sun Infant, Zsolt Sores, Splintered. Yeah, we've got a double CD coming, and I think it's our best work yet, but it's taking a long time, partly because of that. You know, we're taking our time with it. So yeah, what else? We've got Void Fill and some other releases happening in the foreseeable future. You can pre-order some of them through the Big Cartel shop, which will be linked below. You can order. I'll do a direct order link for the double CD below, and maybe even the T-shirt as well. And books. The Grim Humour, the second Grim Humour book, is simply waiting for me to proof the latest PDFs, which were sent to me a week ago. Haven't had chance yet to do that. Maybe tonight I'll have a chance to do that. So we're near the finishing line there, and then that will be going to print. So hopefully next week, at least for some sample copies to get the ball rolling. The deadline for the Grim Humour book, or the low price pre-order on that, is Sunday as well, Sunday midnight. You can still pre-order after, but it's a slightly lower price until the end of Sunday, and the Sunday the 13th of March. We've got Tales from the Ghost Town, Alan Ryder's book. That should be ready. The softcover version should be ready, I think, the week after next. So we'll start sending all those books out, and Alan and I will do a conversation here on YouTube fairly soon as well. I'm also really working hard on the Mark Perry book as well. We have conversations practically every week, and I think I've got 120 pages or so of raw material so far, raw text. We've still got many conversations to get through, and then it's a matter of me focusing on the actual on individual songs as well. So we're going to go through all the back catalogue and cherry pick some songs to get him to talk about some of those, and tell me the backstories and everything, what all the ideas behind certain songs, and then we'll focus on the discography. And then I've got a big editing job to do, which I'm really looking forward to. No, I actually really like writing and editing and stuff, and proofreading as well. Weirdly, what a weirdo. So I like all that stuff. That's kind of my domain. But yeah. So the Mark Perry book is making progress, is all I can say. I hope I'm on track for the text, for the bulk of the text to have been written and to be ready by, I don't know, summer sometime, maybe, July, August. I'm transcribing everything that's been said so far, and I've got 120 pages of raw text. That's without all my footnotes, and without all these other ideas we've got to embellish the book with. So I think it's going to be around a 300 to 350 page book by the time we get to it. So and by the time we've got all the photos and and reprints of posters and whatever, and maybe front covers of releases and whatever in there, it's going to look really nice, I think. So I think what I'm trying to say is it's going to be bigger than the Ramley book. So and it's shaping up nicely so far. Mark Perry is a great subject, really is. Can't emphasize that enough. He always plays himself up as a curmudgeon, as indeed I do as well. So, but I find every time we're chatting, we're just laughing. Well, I'm laughing a lot, and and yeah, and he is as well. We're having good fun, I think. So yeah, which is half the point, So it's not drudgery. We're trying to enjoy what we do. So yeah, and we are enjoying it. So luckily I've managed to avoid drudgery in my life now. So I'm really fortunate. So there we are. So I'm not going to say subscribe to the channel or anything, any of that bullshit. Just stay tuned if you're interested. Keep reading the newsletters that I send out. If you're interested in labels, if you want to be put on the mailing list, then send me your email through the shop or whatever. Get in touch, and just keep paying attention to the YouTube channel if you're interested in any of this bullshit. So, oh dear. I always say I'm not comfortable doing these things, but What's this? The 8th one? I don't know, and I'm saying it every time. It's okay. It's okay. I clearly I don't mind doing this. Yeah, I've never worried about making a twat of myself. so, so there we are. But I'm a serious person as well. Yeah. So anyway, thanks a lot. Buy a t-shirt, buy a double CD before they go, and maybe see you here soon. And let's hope the Ukrainian war doesn't escalate beyond. Who knows where it might go at the moment. And if you feel inclined to help those poor people, then obviously it's nice that you're doing that. And I'm sure I speak on behalf of all the Polish people that I know that are doing exactly that. And I know my own family, my extended family are doing just that as well. So even my parents donated last week. So, but that's the virtue signaling out the way, And again, I don't usually play that game. It's pretty abhorrent generally. But anyway, but yeah, there we are. On that note, I'll leave it. And thanks a lot. Sorry, it's gone up to 26 minutes again. Sorry. Bye.